Hi, I'm Lalo from Atom, and in this video I show you how to use a root chaining feature in Atom. Root chaining is a new powerful feature that allows users to chain roots together and execute one or more after another one ends. So let's start. For the first, we need to think about the strategy we want to implement in Atom with our fleets. The root chaining feature could be very useful for different use cases. For example, you can schedule all your cargo routes for the entire week or the entire month. Another use case for route chaining would be, for example, set up different mining loops by starting one mining loop after another one ends. So, for example, I can decide to schedule 3 mining cycles of hydrogen in Mood GSS. Then I can move my fleet in Mood 2 GSS and repeat the mining of iron for another 3 times. Then I can move to MRZ4 to mining 5 times copper, and after that I can move my fleet again to Mood GSS and restart this loop. In short, the possibilities are endless. With route chaining, you got the next level of Star Atlas automations. Let me show you how it works. For the first, I want to show you adaptive route chaining I have created a few days ago. This route chaining here with 4 different routes. It's the scheduled program of a cargo fleet that will do different operations within the week. So at the moment, it is engaged in the Crystal Lattice cargo. And after it reach 105 cycle, I have set up that electronics in CSS routes start and do 18 cycles. After that, I chained the steel in CSS route, and it will do 21 cycles. And finally, I set the titanium in CSS route that do 14 cycles. I have estimated that to do that it will need something like 7 days. So I have scheduled all the cargo operation for my Llama fleet, and I'm very excited. How does it work, route chaining? For the first, I want to clarify one important thing. Route chaining is an alpha feature, so at the moment it could be a little bit difficult to understand how it works, but we are working to improve the user experience. That said, let's see how it works. For this video, I'll explain you my route chaining I have created, so it would be more easier to understand the functioning of this feature. For the first, I have created the Crystal Lattice route, and I have set up the instant trigger and set a fixed number of cycles. This is very important. For route chaining, cycles become a very important option because it is required for the function for the route chaining to work properly. So I set up a fixed number of cycles. After that, I created a simple cargo route for Crystal Lattice. Okay. Now, when the route it will end its cycles, I wanted to start a new mining operation because in my case I need to freight Crystal Lattice, electronics, steel and titanium from MRZ4 to Mood GSS. So what I did to do that, I have created a new route. In this case, the electronic in CSS route. Here it is where the magic happens. As you can see, the trigger is different from instant. In fact, it is a new type of trigger called the end of a route. When you select end of a route, you can then set up the cycles amount, very important. If you want to create a loop that restarts from the beginning when it will end, then I'll show you. But most important, there is a new route selector. The name of selector is I think it's very clear. So when you set the end of a route trigger, here you need to set the route. After that, when it will end, it will trigger this electronics route. So the current route, electronics in CSS, start when the following route ends. And in this selector, I have set up a Crystal Lattice route. So when this route will end, it will fire this electronics in CSS route automatically. And that's everything. When electronics route then start, it will do 18 cycles, after which the route stops. but it will fire the still in CSS route, because here I have set up end of a route 21 cycle, and this route starts when the electronics in CSS ends. One important thing to mention about the end of a route trigger is that, as you can see, when you set this type of trigger, you can't click on the switch to start the route. This is because the trigger of this route is another route, so you can start manually this route. There is just one exception to this. As I showed you just now, it is a route that starts here, do some operation, but at the end of the entire route chaining operation, it will not restart. This is because here there is an instant trigger. So this route chaining is designed to start, repeat some operation, and when it will reach the last cycle of the time in CSS, this route chaining will not repeat. This is due my choice, because I didn't want the route to loop again, but you can create loops if you want. How to do that? I'll show you how does it work with a new example that we create right now. So we start by creating a new route. For the first, I select the instant trigger, the number of cycle, for example, 3, the fleet, for example, mice fleet, and the starbase, I select the mood CSS. Okay, let's create, for example, a simple local mining route. Okay, now we have created a simple mining local mining tree, local mining route. We call it like Hydro CSS step 1. Okay. We want, for example, that after this route ends, the fleet move to mood 3 to mine carbon 3 times and then come back. The next step here is to create a new route. This time the trigger of this route it will be end of a route. Cycle, I choose 1, and then in a few moments I show you why. And I select as the trigger route the Hydro CSS route we have created just now. Fleet, I select mice fleet, and the starbase, I select mood CSS. Here, now, we have to create the trip route to move the fleet from the CSS to the mood 3 starbase. We need to do that only one time, because after that we wanted to mine for 3 times. So here I add a load cargo action, then a trip action, and after that and nothing. That's just enough. So I select refuel and movement trip subwarp to mood 3. Okay, this is our second route of this route chaining route. Okay, now we can continue our route chaining by creating I give it a name like trip to mood 3. Okay, now create a new route. This time trigger end of a route, cycle 3. The trigger will be the trip to mood fleet mice fleet, and the starbase in this case mood 3. Here we can create a local mining trip route. Sorry. Okay. In the end, we need to create one last route. Here, carbon in mood 3 for the third operation. Okay, this is the third operation. And finally, I create a new route, end of a route, cycle 1 to come back. So I select the route trigger carbon in mood 3, mice fleet, mood 3 starbase, and I set load cargo. Load cargo it's an optional. It's optional in this case. I choose to add it to be sure that I have enough fuel. But if you do some calculation and you see that it can be done only with one refill of fuel, you can set the load cargo refuel only in your first route, because the load cargo refuel behavior in Atom is a min and fill, so it will fill all the fuel. Also, if the minimum fuel calculated is not correct. In fact, in the first route, as you can see, the refuel is set to 1645. So it will not consider all the operation that require fuel, because are in other routes. So the minimum is not correct, but the behavior of atom is always the mean and fill, so the fuel will be filled up, and if your calculation established that the fuel for the entire route chaining is enough, you haven't to put a load cargo action in each trip, in each route. For this case I choose to do that, but it's an optional feature. But this is also a reminder to be careful when you use route chaining to set up correctly all the operation. I repeat that it's an alpha feature, so we have some improvement to do, and it is not perfect at the moment. Okay. Here also I add a load cargo with refuel, and we have completed this route. Okay, so we have 4 trip in mode CSS. Okay, we have just created 4 routes, and we have chained together. But as you can see right now, in the HydroCSS route, the trigger is instant, so the behavior of this route chaining is the same as my cargo route chaining. So at the end of this loop, the fleet will not restart again from HydroCSS route. How we can solve this issue? To solve this, the only thing you need to do is that go to the first route of your route chaining and change the trigger from instant to end of a route. After that, you have the ability to choose the route that fire this route when ends. In this case, you need to select the last route we have created, the trip in mode CSS. As you can see, with this configuration, you can't start this route. So how we can start this route, this powerful, complex route chaining? The solution is very easy. The only thing you need to do is to check the current route is the starting route of a loop. If you select this, as you can see now, it is possible to click on the switch and start officially this route. And when the trip in mode CSS will complete its operation, Atom automatically restart the entire loop from the HydroCSS route. That's it. So this is the route chaining feature. As you can see, it's very, very powerful. And now I think that the only limit of Atom is only your imagination. I'd like to think that route chaining feature opened the door to the automation without limits in Star Atlas, and I'm really, really happy to be here to talk about it. So thanks for watching this video, and see you soon.